Why is it on some days we feel so supercharged and super motivated, but some days we just don't feel like getting out of bed? Let's discuss that. What's happening, Achievers? Ajit Sidhu here from Invincible Achievers. So what makes us actually, what drives us to move forward some days, and some days we just don't feel like doing anything? What's the big difference between those two ends of the spectrum? The key here is the story that we tell ourselves every single day. Everything that we do in life is created by a story. Either we tell ourselves a story from the actions that we've taken and the results we've got, so we want to make ourselves feel better, or it's been told to us by our parents, our friends that we respect, that we have love for. They tell us something and we believe it. So with this story that's been created over and over again, that becomes our driving force in our life of either doing something or not doing something. So if one person's drive is to be the best, to always win, and life is about winning because they've been told that story over and over again. And another person's story about life is having fun. Then the person who has the story about winning and achieving and always winning will always try to win, but will also be very competitive and might be stressed out. Whereas the person who always wants fun will be enjoying life. However, when it comes to competing or pushing themselves, they might think, no, that's not fun, because they might not define that as fun. That's what we have to understand. The stories that we create for ourselves creates our beliefs. And our beliefs is what drives us forward to do something or not to do something. Anything in life you've achieved because you believed you can achieve it. You 100% knew you could do it. If you haven't achieved something, it's because you've told a story to yourself on why you haven't achieved it. And that becomes an excuse. That excuse pulls you back and you do less of it. But it makes you feel good because it gets rid of the pain of not achieving, because we've told ourselves a story. The excuse makes us feel good, gets rid of pain, and it's a bit of pleasure. So we hold on to this story thinking this is our shield. However, that shield is probably blocking you from achieving greatness, because to achieve anything, you do have to go through painful moments, failure, rejection. You have to go through people pulling you back and you pushing them away. This is something that we have to do to get to invincibility, to get to achievement, to become what we want to become. That's the pattern of achieving. So if we don't want to do that, we create an excuse, we create a story. Or if we tried and just think, this is too much for me, then we create an excuse, a story. Everything in life is a story. So if we become great at telling ourselves great stories and questioning our false excuses, then all of a sudden our motivation can be driven up. And all of a sudden we have a new story that we can base it upon. This is the reason why I'm constantly beating the drum of do not watch negativity, do not listen to negative stuff, don't watch negative stuff. This is the reason why I post a small meme every single day, so we feed ourselves with goodness. One small goodness, a small little seed that can grow. Even watching motivational videos, watching motivational speakers, inspirational speakers, it's a seed that's planted inside you. Even if you don't believe it, it's in there. Just like watching an advert on TV, you never wanted that product, and all of a sudden the marketing is in your brain, and now when you're at the shop, you pick it up and think, I wonder why I want this. I want this now. That's the same thing when we're feeding ourselves with good stuff. That's the stories that's been created in our head. And all of a sudden, when we're 2 months down the line, when we're doing something, all of a sudden you think, I wonder why I'm doing this. But the results that you're getting now is because of the actions you took 2 to 3 months back. You never have nails that grow overnight. Oh, look at that, my nails have grown overnight, they're huge. No, they've been growing for the past 2 weeks and you haven't cut them. Fat on us doesn't just come overnight and say, oh wow, I'm getting fat. No. You've been doing the fatness for the past year, eating junk, not exercising, doing unhealthy stuff, drinking too much. And now all of a sudden you look down and think, whoa, that is real bad. I've really gained it overnight. No. It's a gradual growth. A plant doesn't just grow overnight. It grows and grows under the soil until it pops out. And then when people see the small little stalk that pops out, it's like, oh wow, it's grown. But it's been growing for a long time because the seed has been planted deep. But to actually break those beliefs, those stories that we've created, we have to create new stories. And it doesn't happen overnight. Just like everything that we're feeling right now, everything we're getting right now, the reactions that we're getting is because of the actions. So if we start doing new actions, then all of a sudden the reactions will be in a few months' time, because there's always a lag time. You have to get rid of the old story. And whenever you want to get rid of an old story, it fights back. It fights back inside of you. Your excuse pulls up. The ego comes out. And all of a sudden, the significance, you want to be right. Your brain never wants to be wrong. But once that story disappears, then all of a sudden you can push yourself. Just like the movie 300, and this is a spoiler. If you haven't watched it, then maybe watch it and then come back to this. However, in the movie, there's this Xerxes, the God King, who's taking over the world. And everyone believes he's a god. But then all of a sudden, King Leonidas, who's played by Jared Butler, comes along with his 300 men. And they have this huge battle, 300 versus thousands and thousands of people. And right at the end, Jared Butler grabs hold, King Leonidas grabs hold of a spear and flings it just as he's about to die. And you think, that's it, Xerxes, you're dead. But the spear just scratches him and a drop of blood falls. That drop of blood was enough to make everyone believe he was not a god. He was just a man. And from that, everyone rose up against him. Just that small drop of blood. That's what it is, a small story that we have for ourselves, that we create a new story, is just like the drop of blood. And a new power rises from within us to be able to overrule and overtake that disempowering, to move us forward to the empowering. So guys, become a master of telling stories, become a master of questioning old stories that pull you back. Figure out what pulls you back and question it. Is that true? Has there been times when people have overcome it? Is there someone that can be used as a role model to use as a small seed inside, to use as a spear to make that small cut so you can move forward and take over that disempowering and move into empowering? Guys, keep spreading the love. Keep moving forward, and just remember, we are one idea away from changing our story and our future. Take care. Bye.